Okay, boys and girls, I think to show folks what the real world of being a technology professional is like, I'm just going to try to do these little daily updates to kind of show you the projects that I'm working on, and not really just the projects that I'm working on, but the steps that I'm taking to build out these projects. So the big thing that I've been working on for about the past month is OpenCV, the Open Computer Vision Framework. Really great, really awesome. The big thing that I'm trying to figure out now is to figure out what the computer is actually seeing to understand how my models work. I created a little app yesterday that shows me basically if objects are detected in pictures or if they're not detected in pictures. Now what I want to do is I want to create what are called bounding boxes around objects that are detected in pictures. So basically, if an object is detected, not only will it say it's detected, but it will show me what it thinks the object is. Again, that's one of the big problems, is understanding what false positives actually look like. What is triggering OpenCV to think that there is something that is not actually there. And so this is what I want to have automatically created. So essentially using a Python script to dynamically create a web page with images that have been run through OpenCV, and then to have bounding boxes around the objects that OpenCV thinks is whatever the object is that I'm looking for. I have not finished that today. I finished two components to make this work, right? So basically the first component, so this is actually a static page right now, and this is using JavaScript. So one of the reasons I'm showing you this kind of thing too is a lot of people say, Eli, what programming language should I learn? And then I say, well, pick 5 or 6 or 7 maybe. One of the reasons for that is, again, just doing this little project here. Actually, it requires HTML, obviously. It probably requires CSS at the end of the day. It requires JavaScript, and it requires Python that I'll show you in a second. So for these bounding boxes, I'm actually creating these with JavaScript. So in HTML5, there is a tag called canvas. Basically creates a canvas. So you say the width and the height of the canvas. Basically gives you something that essentially JavaScript can dynamically draw on. And then what I'm doing here is I'm adding an image, src, img.src equals faces.jpg and faces2.png. And then down here, I actually have to scale. So I have to squeeze the image into the canvas that I've created. That's what the scale stuff does. Then we actually draw, we write the image within the canvas. And then here, we actually draw the bounding box, right? So ctx.rect 30. So it's 30 pixels in, it is 60 pixels down, 70 pixels across, and 100 pixels down. So like if I go here, and I don't know if I just want to do 130 to show you, I do Control S. Hopefully that saves properly. And then if I refresh, yep, it scoots it all the way over there. All right, so that basically just kind of gives you an idea of how that works. Control S, or I'm sorry, Command S. This is the Mac world. And see, it moves back again, right? And then I have those for 2 different images. So this is just statically creating the bounding box. So now that I know how to statically create a bounding box, obviously with PHP or something else, it's pretty easy to turn the static thing into a dynamic, a loop, a for else loop. But what I need is the coordinates for the image, right? So if I give OpenCV this image, I need to pull the coordinates out. So I have this Python script, so this is Py. It's using OpenCV, so CV2 is OpenCV. And then basically through all of this, we're upload faces.jpg, so that's this particular image. We're using the frontal face alt cascade. And then basically when the image is detected, what it's then going to do is it's going to loop through all of the objects in the image that were detected, and then we're going to print out onto the screen right now, x equals the value for x, y equals the value for y, width equals the value for width, height equals the value for height. And then it's going to just go through and loop that out. So if we go over, yes, okay, so we go over here, and basically I run this script, sudo python, blah, blah, blah. I give it the password. And see, okay, so we can see for this particular image, so faces, this one. So faces.jpg, was the image that was given to this Python script. So we can see X, so X is across. So X375, that's probably here. Y 140, so that's down. So Y was 140 pixels down. X is 375 across, a width of 230 pixels, a height of 230 pixels, and that looks about right. Second object that was detected is 96 pixels over, probably about right. 168 pixels down, probably about right. 226 pixels wide, 226 pixels tall, right? And then the final object that was detected is at 671 pixels across, 175 pixels down. So you'll notice the Y is down, and you'll notice they're all kind of within the range. You know, these people have hair and all that kind of thing, so depending on where their face is actually detected, that looks about right. Width, 217 pixels across, height, about 217 pixels across. And again, you'll notice the widths and the heights, they are different because they are different faces, but horseshoes and hand grenades, they're within the same ballpark. So then, the next step of this project, which I have not done yet, that will be the work for tomorrow, is I then need to take these values, I need to write them to some type of data store, and then I'm most likely going to use PHP, and using PHP, I'm essentially going to loop through and dynamically write this and write the rest of a web page so that the images will show up, and then we'll get bounding boxes, and yay, we can have fun. So anyways, this is just kind of, I just kind of want to give you an idea, again, about how these technology projects work, and especially, again, the way you think through a project, right? Like I say, with this, it's like, okay, so I'm dealing with OpenCV. What is my problem with OpenCV? Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't work great. So obviously, I don't really understand what OpenCV is seeing. So that's why I created the script yesterday to get a better idea of what OpenCV is seeing. The problem is that shows me when objects are detected or not detected in an overall image, but it isn't very precise. I don't know what object is detected, right? Again, for those false positives. So that's why I want something like a bounding box. So it's like, okay, well, if I want a bounding box around the picture, then I'm going to need to use JavaScript in order to create that bounding box. In order to use JavaScript to create the bounding box, I need to be able to pull the values out from OpenCV. And then obviously once I get that, then I need to create the PHP script in order to dynamically create the web page, right? And so this is the thought process you go through for actually building a product to solve whatever problems you need to solve. So anyways, with that, it's time for me to go home and be with my wife and my dog. See y'all later.